And Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all to this session. My name is Junaid Siddiqui. I'm the director of a Learning Technology Center. Today's session is about classroom response systems. Classroom response systems are a category of online tools designed to engage students in the classroom. Some tools which you may be familiar with them, classroom tools include Kahoot and Socrative. A common format in which these tools are often used is to engage student is allowing students, all students in a class to respond to an instant multiple choice question during the class, which students respond using their devices such as mobile phones. Now, a number of you may have used this, so many of you may not have used this, so I just want to begin by getting a sense of the level of awareness about this classroom response system. In Zoom, there is a react button, so please use the yes and no, which is a green check mark and a red cross to indicate if you have experience with classroom response system. Are you aware of it?
So where is it located, please?
It's called react. Under react, and if you are not able to see it, you may need to click the more button, which is the three dots. Okay, we have got some responses. If you are not aware of it, please click the no button. Otherwise, you can click the yes, which is the green check mark.
It is under the React button.
Yeah, it is under the React button. Okay, we have got response from less than around 25%. We can have more responses. I'll wait for a minute more. Okay, so it seems that there is kind of an, okay, what was the question? The question was that, are you familiar with classroom response systems, which are, things like Kahoot and Socrative? Or it can be any tool, if you are familiar with the idea or not. That was the question. And so far, based on the response, there is a 50-50 splits. So thank you very much for your responses. So if you have not responded, let's stop from here and we are going to proceed forward. So it seems like there is a good number who know about it, but there are also a number of people who are not familiar with it. So hopefully it will be beneficial for people on the whole spectrum of experiences. So what I just asked you is the hand raise activity, or responding to in a yes and no manner, and which is an activity which is commonly used in classroom. But when it comes to classroom response, we often go for a multiple choice questions. There are more than one responses, not just a yes and no. In that case, instructors in the old days have done such kind of an activity without technology. So what they asked the student to use hand gestures or just write on a paper a choice like 1, 2, 3, 4 and just raised it in front of them to indicate their choice to a multiple choice question. And while this can work, especially in the small classroom, it is in general quite cumbersome. So around 3 decades ago, because many instructors wanted to use these kinds of activities, so a device became popular, which is called clickers. And instructors started using clickers, and it was in use until recently, but now that these digital devices have become common, students have them, it's much more convenient and efficient to use these mobile devices rather than bringing clickers in the classroom and distributing them to the students. So now these online classroom response systems are now more commonly used, and clickers have become kind of obsolete, not being used anymore. Now, the use of these classroom response tools have increased at KFUPM with the active learning initiative, because the idea was there to engage students. So these are very simple, easy to use tools, which within a lecture, an instructor can invite students to respond to a question, and which can, stimulate student thinking, and it can effectively engage them. So the use of these tools has increased. DAD conducted a survey about a year ago, which helped us study the level of use of these tools at KFUPM. Most of the commercially available tools have a free version, which is adequate for most classrooms, and many instructors have been using it, using the free version, and some have even purchased it. The survey that DAD conducted helped us estimate the need for a licensed version. Slide, I haven't moved slide. It's not frozen. I'll go for the next slide in a moment. So the survey helped us, just learn about the level of need. And based on that, we have procured limited number of licenses of a set of tools. So today's session is to provide awareness about the availability of these tools. So session intended outcomes. These are some of the possible outcomes that you may leave this session with. I'm going to talk about a bit about the purpose of classroom response tools. What is their purpose, why they are used in the classes. Those who have never used them, or even those who have some experience, some of the ideas that I'm going to share hopefully will be helpful. I'm going to talk about the status of common use of these tools and the status of availability of these tools at KFUPM. So you are going to learn about that. I'm also going to provide you a glimpse of a number of available classroom response tools, which hopefully, allow even those who are experienced to get familiar with some of the other tools, and which will probably allow you to explore alternative among the tools. So today's event is to describe the purpose and share details about the availability of the tools at KFUPM. This session is not about providing training on how to use specific tools. Each tool needs its own session. It's not possible to provide training in a single session, and the purpose is not to provide training, but to give you an overall status of the availability of the tools. We have a training session planned for specific tools, and online resources are also available to help learn about each of the tools. So you will learn about some of the training sessions in the near future about the tools. But before I talk about the tools, let me take this opportunity to give you an overview about the learning technologies which are available at KFUPM and which are supported by the Learning Technology Center. The first one is the well-known Blackboard. Blackboard is KFUPM's standard learning management system, which is used by most of the courses to share content with the students, to manage student activities, conduct assessments online, and manage grades. If you are not aware of Blackboard, then please make sure to attend the event, which is scheduled at 4 p.m. Wednesday this week, which will be about the introduction to Blackboard. Then beside Blackboard, we have a set of assessment tools. So we have this Respondus. Respondus is a Windows desktop application. So Blackboard itself has an interface for making assessments. What Respondus does is that provide a more user-friendly interface, a desktop application interface to make it easy to develop assessments for Blackboard. So this is one tool that's available. Gradescope, it's an alternative to scanning bubble sheets and then scanning them in the machines. So Gradescope has the capability of decoding bubble sheets, and many instructors find it more efficient than using the traditional bubble sheets. Additionally, Gradescope allows instructors to see detailed assignment and question analytics, and it allows the student to get more detailed feedback. So it's increasingly becoming popular. Some of the departments where it is quite popular is computer engineering, electrical engineering, information and computer science, maths, systems engineering. So this tool is also becoming quite popular. ExamSoft mainly is used by prep year English program. The license is specifically for them. And these tools allow students to take tests on their devices without the need of internet connectivity, while the exam is kept secured by locking down the student device. So this is another tool that's available. A similar tool available, which is for the whole campus, is Lockdown Browser, which can be used to, let's say, conduct Blackboard assessments while locking down students' device. Another platform we have, which is a platform which is in-house developed, which is developed within KFUPM, is Darajati. And Darajati was originally designed for coordinated courses to manage grades, but now it is used by most of the courses to take attendance, because it has a feature of taking attendance by QR code, which many instructors find it very productive. We also have these tools for interactive content. Last year, Feedback Fruits was introduced, and the two main tools for which Feedback Fruit has become popular at the campus are interactive video and interactive documents. So if you want to share a document or a video with the students just on its own, it's a passive experience. What Feedback Fruit does, that it allows instructors to put activities on top of a document or a video to make the content more interactive. These two, Book Widgets and Articulate 360, they have been right now licensed for English language department. Book Widget offers a variety of online tools for interactive digital lessons. It can even be used like a classroom response system, but it has many other tools. Some of them are specifically designed for language learning. So that's why it's very much relevant to English language learning. And then Articulate 360, so Feedback Fruit allows you to put interactivity on top of existing documents and videos. Articulate 360 allows you to develop multimedia rich content within PowerPoint, which may have audio, video, and interactivity. So all of these tools are available at campus. But then today our focus is going to be on classroom response systems. So we are going to focus on that. And I'm going to share with you in the chat a link where more details about these tools are available. So if you go on our website, you can read more about the learning and management system, the assessment tools, the interactive content tools, and the classroom response system. So all of these, you can get information about them through our website. Okay, so then one more tool I can talk about. We don't have it yet, but it seems like a very promising tool.
Junaid, you said you're going to send the link on the chat. You didn't send anything.
No, oh, sorry. Yeah, it ended up going to a one person. You are right. Okay. Now I hope it has gone to everyone. So this Swift SS Course Suite. This is a platform which is mainly designed for higher education assessment, making it more efficient. And with the AI and our current the theme of our current program of activities is AI, so it's quite relevant. So Swift SS is a tool which has which is quite comprehensive in supporting instructors in utilizing the potential of AI to reduce the effort of assessment development and grading, while providing students with a richer and more personalized learning experience. So this specific session, which is on Thursday, 9 a.m., it's going to focus on AI-powered tools, which can simplify question creation, simplifying grading through rubrics, saving time, and reducing human error. And the demo will also include demonstrating digital tools for computer programming, math, and interactive assessment, like teaching computer programming and math. So this will be on Thursday. And I'm sure you are familiar with this website, so you can go in there. And on Thursday, you can find this event. and you can read more about what's going to be an event, and you can register in it. So this is something which is not available, but if you attend the event, you find it useful, based on your feedback, we may go for doing a pilot with this platform. Okay, now let's come back to the classroom response system, and I'm going to start with the first outcome, which is what is the purpose of these? And in order to set the stage to answer this question, let's take this question: what is the student learning? And I have on this slide two sides. This is one side, and you have another side. So this side comes from a paper which says how faculty fool themselves about teaching and learning. And this article argues that as instructor, we spend quite a lot of effort and time on thinking about content coverage, making students excited. Even when students, we struggle and do some effort, we also consider it as an indicator of learning. So they argue that all of these things, while all of them are important, they themselves are not the indicator of learning. Means that content coverage, if you have covered the content, does it mean students have learned it? Not necessarily. Student excitement and interest not necessarily translates into learning. If the students are putting hard effort in the learning, you will still be surprised that after some time, if you really try to ask students to demonstrate their ability to do something, they are not able to do this. Similarly, classroom organization, technology, all of these things, we need to do all of these, but not necessarily they translate into learning. And misaligned assessment is this idea that you can run assessment, student may perform very well, but because the assessment was not really assessing what it's supposed to assess, so later on when students really need to perform, you see that they are not able to perform. So all of these things, we frequently experience them in our education, but they are not necessarily the best indicators for learning. So the other side talks about, really, when we are talking about learning is about enduring understanding. Understanding that would last for a long time. And that's why this framework says that we have to design our instruction for understanding. And this means that students need to engage in sense making and meaning making. So our activities, while all of these are important, we need to engage students, and in a manner that students need to think and they need to reflect. And they should be able to use whatever they are learning in an unfamiliar context. So the indicators of student capacity to interpret, apply, and explain are the true indicators, not some of these things. So we need to focus on these indicators. So how this can be done? Engaging students in the class becomes quite fundamental to make sure that students end up learning, not just going through a process. And what does this mean? Does it mean a student become excited and apparently active? That may make them interested, but even more important is that students are actively thinking and making sense. So the classroom time, engaging students in the classroom time is quite important in achieving this goal. And one of the very common strategy which is used in the classroom to engage a student is Q&A. So the instructor would pose a question in the classroom and invite students to answer it, or the instructor would ask students to ask questions and then he will respond to them. But this does not scale up to the whole class, especially if your class is quite large. A workaround for this is to engage students in peer discussion in group, which is often quite effective. But even another opportunity we get is this class poll or classroom response system, which allow all students to get engaged and respond to classroom activities. And that's basically the purpose of classroom response system, is to engage all of the students in the classroom and give a framework for it. So this is a framework of engagement to outcomes. So students may be passive in the class, but as this framework goes to the left, they become interactive. And the models of learning for each of this level here, when they are passive, they are listening, watching videos, and then they can go to this side, which is discussions and teamwork. So we basically need those models of learning which move the students from just listening to the lectures to really engaging in discussions and teamwork. And any technology that can help in achieving this goal can be useful, and learning, classroom response systems can play a role in all of this. So these are some well-known instructional models: peer instructions, flipped classroom, just-in-time teaching, team-based learning, and gamified classroom. In all of them, classroom response system can play a role. Peer instruction is the most famous one, popularized by Eric Mazur, in which the instructor explains a complex concept, then ask a question and get student responses. And then he engages the students to talk to each other about their responses. And because it's a complex concept, so a student, they get a good chance to discuss with each other, convince each other. So this is one model, but in a similar manner, there are a number of models, and all of them, classroom response system can play a role. Gamified classroom is much more towards making students excited by using a gamified classroom. But the other models that we have here, I'll not go into the details of them, but all of these models, a classroom response system can really support conducting classroom based on each of these models. But in summary, what are the potential benefit? Using the classroom response system activities, we can identify and diagnose student misconceptions. We can provide, you can get immediate feedback about the level of understanding which you get as teacher, and that feedback also goes to the students. It supports students' active engagement. It also elicits participation from non-participative students, those students who, like if you go into the Q&A session, only few students respond, but when you have the classroom response system, everyone gets to participate. And if you want to run quizzes, these systems can also help automatic and immediate grading of in-class quizzes. So these are some of the benefits. Now, with this background of why we need classroom response systems, okay, these are the tools based on the survey that was conducted at KFUPM. These are the tools for which license has been procured. Our survey indicate that most of these tools have been used, are being used by at least some of the instructors. So at this point, I would like to run a quick poll to learn about, do you have experience with any of these tools? So let me, we can talk about the license in a moment, but let's work on this activity. So in order to run this activity, I've shared with you a link, and you can click this link and you can join the activity. Make sure you select all of the classroom response system that you have used. And the tool I'm using right now is AHA Slides. I'm seeing lots of people are. So there is a comment which says that the poll is closed, but I'm getting so many submissions, so I'm not sure. Okay. Now these problems that you're having, some of those, we'll have to check. I'm seeing lots of submissions are coming. Maybe you need to refresh. Yes, refresh. Maybe you need to refresh. No, submission is, so please refresh, it's going to work. I think you opened too quickly before I opened it up. So please refresh, it's going to work. Okay. So I'm going to wait for 15 more seconds. Okay, so I'm going to lock now. If you haven't responded, I'm going to lock the submissions now. And I'm going to show the results.
I invited all her best.
Okay, so there is a good number. These results shows that who have not used any of the tools. Kahoot is the most popular. And then the others, you know, kind of compare, they can compare well to each other. So thank you very much for your feedback. It is good to see the level of utilization of these tools. Okay, now what I just did is give you a glimpse of what these tools can do. Let me try one more activity. And that activity is going to be on poll everywhere. So where is the link? Here is the link. Okay, I'm going to post the link of this next activity in poll everywhere. And the purpose of this activity is just to get you an idea of stimulating thinking using a classroom response tool. So get this experience. I'm going to present it now. So I've clicked the present button. It should appear on your screen. And it should take a bit of time for you to think about it. But you know, something like this can make students think. Okay, I'm not going to wait for too long. It's just a demo. So let me wait for 10 more seconds, and then I'm going to lock it. Okay, let me lock the submissions. And then I'm going to see the responses. Okay. Now, the majority response is that Earth revolution around the sun. And now, conceptually, this is not correct, but majority is answering this. So
The tilt of the earth.
yeah, the tilt, the correct answer is tilt of the Earth axis is the correct answer. But you know, if you have a question like this, you can give it to the students, and then in the classroom, you just show it to them. Don't give them the correct answer. Just ask them to discuss with each other and find someone who has a different answer than your answer, and they can discuss with each other. And you will be surprised that after having this conversation, you can run the same survey one more time, and then the results are going to change. And this is called peer instructions. So this is one of the models. Now, so this is one of the ways that this tool can be used, which is this model of peer instruction that I just explained to you. But then there is another thing, another model we can use. Yes, this is the one. And this one is gamification. So I'm going to share a model, you know, an example of gamification, and I'm using Mentimeter. Here is the link in the chat for this activity, and now I'm starting this activity for you to respond to it. And you know, people are joining, and this tool just tries to make things a little bit fun. You can see, you know, 61 players are already in, and they are responding to the question. And now let's see. Okay. Okay, back. I think. Okay, stop, turn off responses. So have you responded to this first question? Okay. Okay, so it seems, I don't know, did you submit this properly? Because it's saying that there are no submissions. Have you been able to make the submissions?
No, we cannot see the question. Anything.
We cannot
You
see the
cannot-
question. We
You
cannot
cannot see the
Okay.
question. There's some problem.
Okay,
You can't see the question.
okay. So yeah, now you should be able to see the question. Now we should be able to, yeah, I'm also learning this. Sorry about that. Yes. Okay, there is a timeout. After that, okay, 64 have selected Burj Khalifa. Actually, the correct answer is this one, gold mine in South Africa. Okay, so this was the first question. Let's go to the next slide. Before we go to the next slide, it's just showing who has won the fastest, and with the correct answer is MR. Okay, let's go to the next question. And now this time I'm not going to make this mistake. I'm going to start the quiz immediately.
What?
The answer is hard, so
Okay, so we are up with the time. And while Dr. Gondal gave the answer, still many people selected brain. Brain is the correct answer. So brain is the correct answer.
Yes, the brain. Yeah.
ECG is for the heart. Okay, so.
oh, sorry,
Now-
I didn't say EEG. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
We understand, brother.
Okay. Okay, fastest is a big boy, and and there are quite close, people who are quite close on this. Now let's try this last question. Which of these countries in Southeast Asia is landlocked? So you need to know a bit of geography. Okay, so Laos is the correct answer, and majority have been able to respond with that. So these were the three questions. And for this specific, okay, this is the leaderboard for the whole competition. Okay, MR has come out to be the fastest, because in this competition, the time also matters. So fastest in answering the questions correctly. And so this is an example of gamification. So this is another model. It can be useful at occasions, let's say at the beginning of the classrooms, to just wake up your students and get them engaged. And if you are lecturing for long, maybe you can do it one more time. So this can be useful for just making students more engaged and interested. Okay, let me finish with that. Can I close this? Okay.
There is a question how to link with PowerPoint in the class.
Yes, yes. So we are going to see some of those things. Yeah, how to link to the PowerPoint and those things. That's coming up. So this is just a demo, but now we are going to look at these tools more closely. The first thing is that how these tools compare to each other. And my answer is that they are quite similar. They are like a basket of fruits. It's a matter of choice. It's hard to say which one is better. My personal choice has been poll everywhere, but I don't see many people using it. We did our RAN poll and it seemed that Kahoot is more popular than anyone else. So it's a matter of choice. So now what I'm going to do is give you a comparison in all of these tools, and then you can decide which one you would like to use. So the first thing I can show to you is this gamification. I just showed to you that in gamification, you can use them for competitions. There is a time limit. There is a leaderboard. These kinds of features are most strongly present in Kahoot, Mentimeter, ClassPoint. They are equally there in AHA Slides, in Wayground, maybe a little bit, Kahoot and Mentimeter are a little bit stronger, but they are still, they are quite well. Socrative also have gamification and poll everywhere. Both of them have gamification, but their focus is not that much as compared to these other tools. So the most interesting, right now, the gamification that I showed to you is in Mentimeter, and Kahoot works in a similar manner. So this is comparison on this dimension of gamification. Visual designs. Most of these tools have been designed for school, K to 12. That's why, they use colors and graphics, which are more fun, a little bit childish. And when we did a survey, some people said that, these tools should not be used at the university, but, it's a matter of choice. So they are all available. You can decide. The tools which have a more formal and mature visual design are Poll Everywhere and Socrative. Okay, so this is one comparison. Tracking individual student responses in some of the models. So the activities that I just showed to you, it's not very important to track individual students. You just notice that the activities that I used, it was not possible to identify students. But there are models like, I showed to you, let's say, just-in-time learning or team-based learning. In those, it may be important to track individual student responses. So those tools which are most strong in tracking student responses are Wayground, or formerly called as quizzes, Kahoot, and Poll Everywhere. And the reason they are most strong is that they integrate with Blackboard. Wayground is already integrated with our Blackboard instance. Kahoot will soon be integrated. Why I did not put Poll Everywhere totally on this side is that the license that we have got, it doesn't allow us to integrate this with Blackboard. But still, Poll Everywhere has another feature called student registration. So you can still do the tracking even in Poll Everywhere. Then ClassPoint and Socrative, they also allow, they do not integrate with any of the learning management system, but they have a way to identify students across the sessions. While AHA Slide and Mentimeter, they only allow identification within a session. So, these tools do vary in terms of how much you can track student activity. Most of these tools, they use slide, like in PowerPoint, we have slides. So most of these tools slide as a unit of organization of the display. This tool called ClassPoint is actually doesn't work without PowerPoint. You need to install it within PowerPoint and then it works. So ClassPoint is very strongly slide based. The name AHA Slide, the word slide in there. So, AHA Slide also use slides. Mentimeter use slides, Kahoot use slides. Poll Everywhere and Wayground, they are not focused so much on slides, but there are places where things appear like a slide. While Socrative is least in terms of using a slide design. Not a very important point, but still, something that distinguishes these tools one from the other. These tools, we are considering them all because they allow live in-class activities. So, you can use them live in class activities. But Kahoot, Socrative, and Wayground, they allow you to also assign student activity outside of the class that they can work on them self-paced. So there are some special features available in those platforms. So if you want to adopt a platform where you also want to have some self-paced activities, then Kahoot, Socrative, and Wayground may be something to consider. So this is just a quick comparison among them. Now, I would like to get a hand raise in Teams that do you have a good experience working with more than one of these tools? The 7 tools that I showed to you, do we have anyone here who has experience working with more than one of these tools? Please click the raise hand button. It's at the same place from where I ask you to click yes and no. Anyone who has an experience of working with more than one of these tools? Okay, okay. So
I
it
do,
seemed
but I
that
don't
not
know tool you're talking about. So
the 7 tools.
I do, but I don't know what link you're talking about. Sorry.
No, these 7 tools that we are talking about: Aha Slide, Class Points, Kahoot, Mentimeter, Poll Everywhere. Have you
So
used any of
you
these?
you just want me to raise my hand, is that it?
Yeah, if you have used more than 2 of these.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, more than 2. Okay, so because Pewash raised his hand first, can you please go ahead, turn on your mic and comment on what was your experience? What is your preference?
Can we go back to it, to the slide with the? Okay, so
Yes.
Kahoot. So Kahoot,
let me go to.
sure.
Yes.
So Kahoot I've used quite frequently, and it's a very seamless, very fun way to quickly ask. And when you see students in a business class, specifically, when you see students losing interest or fading away, it's a good way just to bring them back quickly. Poll everywhere. We use that in some of our projects, and I ask students to do surveys just to validate some problems, just to validate some ideas. So that's my simple experience with both of these. But I like you said, Kahoot is more of a like childlike, quick, fun way of doing it. Poll everywhere, we use it. Usually, I try to ask them to go for external stakeholders and ask outside.
Okay, so let's go for one more on this. So maybe we can go for Ammar because he is the second on the list. Ammar, Dr. Ammar.
Yes, so I used also Kahoot and quizzes or Wayground now. I like Kahoot interface more. Also, the way it conducts things, I think, is a little bit more straightforward. However, I had issue that actually the main reason I switched to quizzes was the fact Kahoot had that limit on the number of participants. So for large classes, if you have the free version, it's not going to help you. Quizzes, at least at that time, since last semester it was okay. I don't know if they changed with the new name. Now they had any limitations, but yeah, that was my take on this.
Okay. Thank you very
now
much.
I have a question, if I allow me.
Sure,
so for Kahoot, you said we have limited license.
Yeah. Our number of licenses are, based on the survey, it seemed that Kahoot is too popular. So what we have decided that we'll try to get more licenses, but that may take some time. So if we run out of it, you will have to wait a little bit. We are planning to get more licenses for.
So request this like a ticket, IT ticket, or how we?
Yeah, I'm going to show this to you before the end of the session. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, so people have been using it. Let me go through a quick walkthrough with the features. So Aha Slides, it allows building quizzes, polls, word clouds, spinner wheel. These are the activities that it allows. You can see all of these activities. It also allows running polls, open-ended questions, and let me just a minute. This is Aha Slide. I'll have to close this and go back to my screen. So this is the interface for Aha Slides. And let me go to my presentation. So here is presentation that I'm creating with AHA slides. So the way it works that you keep adding slides with different activities. I can add slides using AI, I can import slides, or I can add a blank slide. And I can have a pick answer, which is a multiple choice question. You can see this pop up here. You can have short answers. You can ask students to put things in correct orders. You may ask them to categorize things. There is a brainstorming question. So you have these different kinds of questions, as well as you can also use AHA slide entirely as a slide presentation tool. So you can build slides using all of these YouTubes and QR codes and all of those things, as well as AHA slides allow you to install a plugin in PowerPoint and include AHA slide activities in PowerPoint. So this is what's possible in AHA slide. And I'm just giving you a glimpse. We don't have time for a full training on this, but now ClassPoint, doesn't work directly online. What you need to do is to install it in your PowerPoint. So I have this installed, and let me stop my slides and bring the PowerPoint on the screen. And here is this tab that has got added for ClassPoint. And you can see that I can add slides with multiple choice questions, word cloud, short answer. So this is the only way you can use ClassPoint, is to install it in PowerPoint and then use it within PowerPoint. And it has these kinds of activities available. ClassPoint, in addition to running these activities, it also allows you to have some toolbars. And so let me just select these options, and then I'm going to start my slideshow again. So after I've added that, it also gives me this toolbar, which allows me to put some annotation on my slides like this. And I can run a quick poll. I can include a timer. So it's a very strongly PowerPoint integrated tool. And so if you are very much just want to stay in PowerPoint, ClassPoint can be preferable for you. Okay, let me go back. Okay, exit, and I'm going to, settings. I don't want them right now. Okay. So this was ClassPoint. Then Kahoot. Let me show you this interface of Kahoot. This is Kahoot. Yes, this is Kahoot. So in Kahoot, this is what you get. You can create a new activity by clicking here in Kahoot. And Kahoot allows you to add, activities similar to what we are discussing right now, but it also allows developing stories and courses, which are self-paced activities. But in order to run activities in the classroom, Kahoot, this word, you need to go to there. And it allows you to generate activities by importing a PDF. So it just reads questions, let's say from the PDF, this AI assisted. You can generate questions using the built-in AI tool, and you can import slide, but let's start with a blank canvas. And in this blank canvas, I can add questions. And these can be quiz questions, true and false questions. Let's see. And it can be, it has a number of possible different kinds of questions available. And the most strong point of Kahoot is the gamification. So I just had an experience of gamification with Mentimeter. Oh, yes. Then when we come to Mentimeter, Mentimeter is quite similar to Kahoot. It has a similar kinds of questions. What cloud? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I heard there's a way that you can connect Kahoot with the ChatGPT class where you can integrate each other. Do you have any idea about that?
You can connect Kahoot. So no, I'm not familiar with that, but some of these, all of these tools now have some AI capabilities, and there might be a setting there to configure it. I think right now it's using its built-in AI engine, but there can probably be a way to connect ChatGPT. with Kahoot. So, we can investigate that later on.
Thank you.
Okay, now this is Mentimeter. If you want to run a quiz competition, which I did, you can use this question. Otherwise, for regular kind of activities, you can use ranking, guess the number. All of these kinds of questions are there. Poll Everywhere. I showed an example of Poll Everywhere to you before, and it has all of these options: multiple choice, word cloud, Q&A, clickable images, surveys, open-ended competitions, and it generates different kinds of reports based on student responses, like icebreaker discussions. So it has lots of possible options also. Poll Everywhere. Socrative. We can take a look at its interface, which might make things a bit easier to understand. So Socrative has a place called library. There I can add a quiz. And when I add the quiz, I can generate questions using AI. I can copy paste questions, and there is some procedure for doing that. Or I can start with a blank quiz. And within that blank quiz, I have option of 3 kinds of question: multiple choice, true and false, and short answer. So these are the 3 kinds of questions that we can create. So once the question is created, it appears here. Now I can launch these questions either as a quiz or as a space race. Quiz is like running the question without any time limit or without any gamification, while space race put a limit and shows a leaderboard that which student has responded quickly and which one has responded correctly. So these are the 2 most important questions. If you want to run a question quickly, there are these 3 options. So in Socrative, the options are relatively less as compared to the others, but it is also quite popular. It's quite easy, simple. So if you want something very simple, Socrative can be useful for you.
Space Race also allows students to be able to work collaboratively in teams, so they have to negotiate the answer.
Yes, yeah, that's true. That's true. This is another feature. And finally, we have this Wayground quizzes. In quizzes has all of these options. You can make assessments with questions. You can make lessons, which has live whiteboard, spin wheel, so you can engage students in different kinds of activities while making lessons. Interactive videos allow you to share videos while students need to answer questions regarding the video while they are watching the video. Comprehension tool is you share with the student a passage and they need to answer questions about the passage. Flashcard is to remember, to memorize words, things like that. If I go to assessments, again, we can generate questions through AI, or we can create questions from scratch. And it has a very wide variety of questions. One of them, which might be of interest to those who work with mathematics, that it can require students. You can see, there is this area. You can require students to enter a mathematical expression, and it compares if the student's response is correct or not. So this is a very unique feature in Wayground, which is formally called quizzes. But in general, it is quite rich in the possible options that you have. So this is a quick walkthrough in about the features that are available. Now, I'm going to just talk about licensed versus free, about all of these platforms. Just a minute. Okay. So regarding AHA slides, the already given limit is 50, which is quite ample, but if you need more limit, AHA slide allows up to 200 by the licensed version. So if you don't have licensed version, it still allows 50. The number of quizzes and polls, there is some limitation on that. That's also not, it's usually enough, but we have enough licenses, so we can provide licenses for AHA slide, and you will be more easy to use as many questions as you want. ClassPoint allows a class size to be 25. With our licensed version, you can go up to 200 class size. And it also increases a number of other features in the paid version. Unlimited questions, all interactive quiz types, and unlimited draggable objects if this is something you would like to use. Kahoot is the most restrictive. It allows only 10. This is what I have read in the documentation. So if we would like to have more, we can go for this licensed version, and on the licensed version, you can go up to 2,000. And if you are using a self-paced activity of Kahoot, it can go up to 10,000. And then it also allows creating advanced slides. It allows PowerPoint integration and AI Kahoot generation. Then Mentimeter, it becomes unlimited participants from 50 when you are using Mentimeter. And it allows importing PowerPoint slides and customized colors and themes. Poll everywhere limit. By going to the licensed version, you increase your limit from 40 to 700. And you can also register the students. So this is an additional feature available. Socrative, you increase your limit from 50 to 300. And the number of quizzes and rooms also increase significantly. And finally, Wayground. It just allows things to become unlimited. So, any restrictions, they are not there anymore. Because we have the organization plan, although we don't have large number of licenses, but the plan is the maximum that we can get. So this is just go through of what we can get. Now, these are some other tools that people also use. Microsoft Forms, for example, allows adding similar activities, and there is no limit, nothing. And if you have Office 365, you can use Microsoft Form to get a similar kind of functionality. So if you integrating things into PowerPoint are important, this is also a simple way of adding activities. Just something I wanted to mention. But in addition to that, people also use Google Forms, Teams. This is something, Microsoft Whiteboard. All of these things people are using them at KFUPM. So that's it about this walkthrough. Now we have a ClassPoint session, 1 hour session. The people from the ClassPoint are going to give the details about how to use ClassPoint. It is tomorrow at 4 p.m. the same time on Monday. And we have session for rest of the tools except for Socrative. Socrative people, they said that, giving a training session is not part of the deal that we have with them. So we are not going to have a session with Socrative, but for the other tools, we will plan session soon in the early part of the semester. And how to get the licensed version, this is the URL. I can paste this URL in the chat, although you can see it also from my screen. So this is the link. And if you go to this link, basically what you need to do is to come to this link and click request license of a tool. And you'll have to submit. But please request it if you really want it, because at the moment it's only a pilot project. You'll have to sign it using your KFUPM username and password, and then you'll be able to complete a form. So that's it. And now, while the time is over, if someone have any questions, you can leave them in the chat or on the mic. Otherwise, we are done with the session. Thank you very much.
Okay, Junaid, if you don't mind.
Yes.
You have given an overview and very quick, brief introduction to each one of them. And you see that Kahoot is the most popular. So you should have one complete session on Kahoot where we see the details of the implementation and hear experience of others. I think that will be most useful for us.
Okay. So regarding how to use Kahoot, we are going to have session about that very soon. We haven't been able to schedule that. And then regarding experience sharing, I agree. And, we just have to plan it. We'll do that.
I fully agree with Professor San Baluli. So we need a session for Kahoot.
Yes.
It's very
Okay.
popular and some of our colleagues are asking us to do, you know.
Great.
They used in the summer.
Yes. Okay. So we'll do that.
But it's
Any other comment?
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much,
Okay.
Junaid.
Thank
Okay, so
you.
let's finish.
Thank you very much. It
Thank you.
was
Let's
very
finish the
useful
session.
and informative. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And we'll
Professor.
share the link of this recording. So Sanola, you can stop